Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you like the new microphone. I think it's really cut down on a lot of the echo because hardwood floors are nice, but not so nice for sound sometimes. Thank you for all the well wishes for my cat, Annie. As you may or may not know, I have two cats in their 20s. And even though they are pretty healthy, what happens is they get a little something and then it spirals. And then before you know it, you're up all night with a kitty. So thank you. They are both resting comfortably. They're on their orthopedic heated beds, living the life. I do want to mention for members, something special that I think you're really going to like on November 23rd. For book club, we're doing Denise Lynn's soul coaching. And this is for all levels of membership. If anyone's interested, check it out. I have a certified soul coach by Denise Lynn coming in to talk to all of us for a book club this next month. So if you haven't gotten it already, make sure you get this book. It's a great book. You know, you'll work through all these different exercises to really help transform yourself and get to the root of, so many things that's causing us chaos in our lives and to find balance. And it's a wonderful book. Anything else? Members, check the membership tab for everything that we have coming up, because I did adjust things a little bit. And I just want to give a shout out to Otter Spirit. As you guys know, I love Otter Spirit. This is their Halloween trio, the orange aventurine, the unikite, and the leopard skin. And I love how you get the boxes. First of all, it's a magnet. They're gorgeous. And you get this little card with each one that tells you something about it, even which chakras it helps, what zodiac signs, intentions, affirmations, and they're all AAA to or double A to AAA grade gemstones. And $1 goes to the sea otters, which you guys know I love animals, and plus they're really nice to deal with. They're really nice people in general. So because it's Halloween, and if you don't know, I love Halloween. I live in Salem. Of course, I love Halloween. I'm going to be using the Jack-o'-lantern tarot for this reading. And every year I break it out, the Halloween oracle for the end, for the 3-card pull. So 2 things that I want to look at in this reading today, in this video. One, we do need to talk about 45's health. And if you're confused why I call him 45, I think you can probably figure it out. No, this isn't an old video. I have some people very confused. I guess I could call him 34 if that helps you. Anyways, until I feel like circumstances have changed and he actually is 47. I'm going to call him 45, and it's not out of disrespect, but I cannot lie or do anything that I feel isn't in alignment with my spirit and with Creator. So in this video, I am looking at 45's health. If you notice, we have this talk all the time now. Every few days, he disappears. This was a high functioning week. Last week wasn't. Okay, so there's something going on, obviously. We do need to look at that. And the other thing I want to look at is the government shutdown. And I think that's really worthy of talking about. Now, I was going to make this video 2 weeks ago. You probably saw it up. I had the description already written out. Here's the thing. My prediction has not changed in 2 weeks. And we're going to continue that talk of how long I think it's going to last. And, think back to his first term and how long that government shutdown lasted. It's problematic, isn't it? What was I going to mention? Oh, did everybody see the post that he made a few nights ago? I think it was Wednesday night, where he makes this public post and he forgot that he was president. That's in his own writing. That's not me being psychic or, that's disturbing. And that once again goes right back to his health. On Sunday, when I go live, we are going to be talking about Jared and Ivanka. I'm really drawn to them, what they're doing in the Middle East. And, I should mention these bracelets are from Otter Spirit too. I'm wearing these because they match my outfit, but this is the Halloween one. And on Sunday, we're also going to be talking about Jack Smith. I feel really drawn to talk about him. We haven't talked about him on this channel for a long time, but I feel really drawn to talking about him. So let's look at this government shutdown. First of all, I do have a really bold prediction. And it probably would have been a bit bolder if I didn't have Annie getting sick on me and I made it 2 weeks ago, which was I see it going for the month of October. I do see it going into November. There could be little things along the way that makes things a little bit better. You know, like he decided to pay the military. Funny how he got the money out of nowhere for that, right? And so I do think it's going to be lengthy, just like his first term. And Democrats are not going to take a step backwards and give up any of these healthcare rights. So let's pull some cards for the government shutdown. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It helps to grow my channel and I appreciate it. Okay, so what do we need to know, Spirit, about the government shutdown? First card is the Emperor. And you know, the Emperor, we sometimes get this with 45, don't we? Where we know that he wants to be a king. He has said it. He has outrightly said it. It's not like we're speculating. I'm not being psychic. He has said it. And we do have all these no king protests. Just make sure if you go that you're safe and all of that. But he is what's at the heart of this matter. And, you know, he is the one that is causing all of this. And I really think it's going to backfire for the Republicans because before we know it, we're going to be into midterms. And these people are going to want to be reelected, or at least somebody in their party reelected. Even if they are retiring, they're still going to want another Republican to get elected. So this is going to be an issue. If you're not familiar with my channel, my first card is the significator. The second card is the obstacle or challenge. Subsequent cards are the outcome cards. Eight of Swords is our challenge card. Okay, makes sense. If you look, she's not moving. What did I just say? I think that this is going to go out for the month of October. I think it's going to wreak havoc in a very controlled, intentional way. Like everything that's happening is not happenstance. And for those of you that are still waking up, you're still breaking out of the matrix. Because if you take any of my classes, if you're a member, you know what I'm going to say, I bet. That none of this is real. I do believe in the law of one, which is taught by the Rock Collective, that this is a game of sorts that we're in. And I want you to think of it this way. Sometimes it gets exposed and like we're not supposed to notice it or connect the dots. But isn't it funny how the war, I'm trying to be careful of the algorithm, with the Gaza Strip came to an end on the same day that they announced the Nobel Peace Prize. 45 truly wanted that. And can you see how it was manipulated? Because Biden already had something in place. This could have been dealt with a long time ago. 45 chose not to end it. When he met privately with Netanyahu, they decided, obviously, to not end it. And here we are, and all those poor people. And in that prediction video that I made in January for 2025, I said, we're going to have a Middle Eastern refugee crisis in 2025 because some of those people will go back, but what are they going back to? And I think a lot of them are going to realize that it's not sustainable. It's a tragic situation. Seven of Swords in regular tarot. This is our little Russian friend, you know, speak of Putin over here. But yes, so this is getting away with something. This is stealing and taking something in broad daylight. Look, he's taking 5 of the 7 swords. He's looking over his shoulder like, hey, nobody notices, right? I can get away with this. It's a card of deception, of deceit. And that's what this is truly all about with this government shutdown. They are trying to get away with things. They're trying to pass their agenda. Because, you know, if you think of it at the very root level, how do you control a people? How do you control a society? You control things like their food, which is being done, right? Our food is being controlled. There's no doubt about that. At this point, how much more can we have with inflation? And you control their health care, right? If you keep people hungry and sick, they're vulnerable. So this is intentional, right? This isn't about the old school Republicans wanting a smaller government. We're so far past that. Queen of Cups. Okay, so I do like that this comes in. So that tells me that there is some sort of resolution. And I also like how with this deck, she's surrounded by a wise owl and 2 children. And so that tells me it's going to work out. They're going to, we already know that they're going to try to do what they're going to do, right? That's no surprise. But the Queen of Cups has emotional integrity, emotional intelligence, emotional depth. There's a kindness and a sweetness to her. And so that makes me feel, okay, like this is going to be okay. And I can tell you psychically, that is how I feel. This is going to be okay. But in the meantime, even here in Salem, I didn't even realize how many things we have in Salem that is affected by a federal shutdown, a government shutdown. You know, just tourists coming here, and there's one of our visitor centers, you know, where people can get information, use bathrooms, you know, that sort of thing. It's shut down. Some of our things that you can go in and see are shut down. And so it's a problem. Ooh, justice card. Love it. Okay, yeah, so justice is certainly coming for these Republicans. Do I think it's coming in 2025? No. We know that the wheels of justice move obscenely slow, but it's coming. It is coming. If I go to the bottom of the deck, Page of Cups, and, you know, pages deliver messages, right? That's what pages used to do. They used to go to the royal family, deliver messages. And also, 2 pages are children. So we've had a few child references in this reading, which I like. That makes me feel like, okay, families, children are going to be taken care of. We're going to be hearing good things that make us feel good. And also, too, with this deck where, you know, in typical tarot, he's offering a fish. Well, in this one, he's offering, you know, just like a fish bones, right? A dead fish. So that makes me feel like the initial offers that we see in the next week or 2 are really going to be hollow, that we're not going to like the initial offers. I really don't feel like it's going to get settled until November, unfortunately. So that is my prediction on that. Okay, now we have to look at his health. If you notice, and once again, if you watch my channel, you know that I am not a fan of his, but I also don't make fun of him either. And so it doesn't give me any pleasure to say anything, you know, bad about anyone's health. But if you notice, his eyes are just becoming puffier and puffier, and it's like he's down to slits. You know, his walking isn't good. His speech isn't good. He's getting all mixed up. This isn't good. And somebody needs to be the adult in the room and step in and say, okay. And this is where I know you guys will all ask, 25th Amendment? No, I'm not seeing it. I haven't seen it in the past. I'm not seeing it now. My prediction still remains the same, that whether it's truly health or not, that is what ends his presidency early. And, you know, if you look at his astrology, there is no way that he keeps it up for 4 years. Just like there's no way that actually Vance then keeps it up for 4 years either after that. You know, he doesn't keep it up for the rest of the term. You know, you can see that something clearly does happen. So let's look at what we need to know with his health. Oh, cards are jumping. And before I do this reading, one thing I just want to mention is that my channel is probably a little bit different than other people's channels when it comes to the comments. First of all, I don't hesitate to turn them off. Second of all, if you do start to get really low vibrational in the comment section, you're gone. I don't give second chances. Even if you write me these huge emails that I get, don't email me. And I also get a lot of questions about readings. Readings are now exclusively for members. I let them know when I have openings, because I just have so many clients at this point that I needed to do something. So here we go, looking at 45's health. Okay, so interesting how in this deck, the Ace of Wands is literally just a naked spine. There is no, bone, like, what do I want to say? Muscles, right? There's no arteries. There's no like life-giving force coming out of the spine. It's like a dead spine, with skeletons, like skulls up top. And so I think that this is a reflection of, because aces are new beginnings, a new beginning where that vital life force that we all need is dissipating from him. His obstacle, Two of Pentacles. We see this a lot in health readings in general with anybody that's struggling. Do you see how this character is trying to juggle two things? And it's Pentacles. So Pentacles is health. It can be money, health, anything that is physical and tangible, right? Like Cups is emotions, Wands can be passion. Pentacles, that's our body. That's a physical thing. So his obstacle and challenge is trying to balance his health, keep it all together. And I feel like the life force energy is just depleting with him. Almost like a nod from the universe. Here's the Emperor card again. So he is not going to go until he has to. He is going to hang on by any means necessary. And that's what we're seeing. We've been seeing that. I'm not telling you something that you don't know. Ace of Pentacles, it's interesting because in this deck, death is handing something physical. Death is giving something out in this deck. So once again, a new beginning that is like literally, surrounded by death. And now I don't think literal, and I don't ever make death predictions. I do not, because I think we put exit points into our chart. For all my astrologers, you know that you can see the exit points that we put in there. So what I think is that there's going to be a huge stepping back. So this is a new beginning, but it's a new beginning that he is not going to enjoy. Once again, I feel like that vitality, that life force is ceasing. The Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant oftentimes can be a very litigious, legal type card. It can be a judge, a lawyer, that sort of thing. And I really feel like somebody higher up, whether it's the Supreme Court or just the powers that be. And I've always said, we don't know all of their names. If you know their name, they probably don't have as much power as you think. Is going to nudge him out, is going to say, okay, look, it's time to go. It's time to move on. 10 of Swords. Yeah, not what you want in a health reading. Obviously, this character is face down, 10 swords in his back. I think this card is self-explanatory. This is not a card of great health. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. And I'll show you because this one's a little bit different than most. And, with this one, he's actually holding like death in his hands. And I really get the sense that this is Vance stepping in. And just to be clear, because I get a million questions on this one. Yes, I do see Vance stepping in, but it's short-lived. Something clearly happens. He's gone. Even Vance's astrology does not support him being there for the rest of the term. So if you liked this reading and you want more like it, please hit the thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified. Let's check out membership. It is robust. There's 5 years worth of classes there. You have to check it out. I love this Oracle deck for this time of year. It is fantastic. So take a nice deep breath. Let's give this a little shuffle here. And I'm just going to pick 3 cards. And just ask your spirit guides, the universe, creator, your higher self, what do you need to know today? And go with your gut. Are you drawn to 1, 2, or 3? And if you like this sort of thing, I do teach a psychic development class every Tuesday. It is for my angel members. Okay, it's live. So number 1, invisibility, authenticity. So sometimes we do have to shrink back, get out of the limelight, get out of the world to really let go of our ego and figure out who we are. And so much of this has to do with our throat chakra, right? Opening our voice, opening our throat so that we are communicating in an authentic and genuine way. So this is like a nod from the universe that you have a message to give. You need to really take a step back, do a deep dive into you, which is actually what this book does. You know, I do highly recommend it if you are interested in that and you pulled number 1. Number 2 is graveyard, which is unnecessary fear. Now, one thing I will tell you, as somebody who is psychic, who's a medium, is that one of the quietest places you can go to is a graveyard. People don't hang out there. You know, your loved ones are not hanging out there waiting for you. They're just not. And so you have unnecessary fear. And ask yourself, what is it that you are so fearful of? Is it literally death? Is it your health? Is it finances, fear of commitment? There is something that you are worrying about that isn't based in reality. It's just based on your own fears. Sort of like when people go into a graveyard and they get spooked out. It's not necessary. And then lastly is Ghost, which is the card of regret, right? Because people don't fully cross over when they are full of regret. They stay, they want to try to fix things and see what's going on and see if they can impact anything. And so ask yourself, because every single human being has regrets, and ask yourself, okay, so what are my regrets? Because it's coming up in today's reading that I need to actually look at and stop beating myself up over. Give yourself permission to keep the love and the lessons, let the rest go. Okay, it's time to release. And this is a great time of year for releasing work. So, all right, everyone, it was a pleasure. And I will see you all on Sunday, 6 p.m. And we will be live then. All right, bye, everyone.